Oh, fighting games are still very hyped.
Yeah,
So
fighting.
have you been
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
have you been seeing some of the little Easter eggs and stuff that people have been finding in the beta or found in the beta that's starting to come around now?
No, I've been like I was going to say I've been purposefully avoiding Street Fighter 5 or Street Fighter 6 rather, but it's not really even that I've been purposefully avoiding it. It's just stuff doesn't come across where I move on the internet a whole lot, and I don't seek it out particularly. So
Ah. So do you want me to hit you with some though?
sure.
So firstly, and this is more of a gameplay Easter egg. Well, it's just cool. It's not even really an Easter egg. It's character defining. But it was discovered Jamie can continue to drink when he gets drunk, fully drunk. So, like, what's the point of him drinking when he's already fully drunk, right?
Yeah.
It refills his drive gauge.
Yeah. That's been a thing. I think that's like one of the first things that Max pointed out about Jamie.
Oh, well, shit, I hadn't seen it. But, like, it looks crazy because it rebuilds fairly slowly for everyone else. Jamie can just drink. That alone is a fantastic reason for Jamie to just get as drunk as possible as soon as possible.
Yeah.
The
Like Jamie's game plan is pretend to be Eastern European, and then the three question marks and the profit. People are fucking alcoholic. Anyway, yeah.
her weakness, as it turned out, was craft beers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're still there.
Yeah, I am.
I thought my internet had died. No, it's okay. We're safe. So Kimberly, by the way, has that level 3 super where she starts listening to her music and that charges her up, right?
Yeah.
Did you see what happens if it's a mirror match and both Kimberlys use their level 3 super?
Doesn't it have like a specific battle team with lyrics or something like
So
that?
when one Kimberly activates her level 3 super, regardless of who her opponent is, it starts playing her theme no matter what.
Yeah.
Actually, it might even be a unique theme. And if it's a mirror match and the other Kimberly also activates it, it also throws in vocals.
Nice.
A unique version of the Kimberly theme that you will only hear if it's a mirror match. That is so weird.
I mean, it's not unprecedented though, because remember, Elena has a special winner match round start in 3.
Oh, right, she has a special round start animation against herself, doesn't she?
Yeah.
That is weird.
Where they do the doing bit.
Because Street Fighter is not one of those fighting games where you can easily explain away mirror matches, you know?
Yeah.
Because like Mortal Kombat or Marvel vs. Capcom, you can go, oh, it's just multiverse bullshit. But like, how's it happen in Street Fighter? I don't know. Maybe Bison cloned him. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
There was also the leaks that I only mentioned just in passing in the public part of the Discord. But some of the leaks indicated, yes, that Lily, or is her name Lily? Lily, I think, is just straight up T-Hawk Jr.
Yeah, which was to be expected.
Like, well, here's the thing.
Maybe she'll actually be an interesting character. Who knows?
Street Fighter 6 has given me things I didn't know I wanted. I always wanted Abel and T-Hawk with more interesting designs. It's like, okay, here come Abel and T-Hawk with more interesting designs. Okay. Speaking of which, that Mimi that everyone thinks is Abel's student, and she very well could be because she looks a lot like him, has the ability to charge up her command grabs, apparently, to get increasingly higher strength. which I thought was funny because Pat pointed out when I was hearing Wooly and Pat talk about Street Fighter 6. From the command grab psychology perspective, there's always the thing of, as a command grab character, you start to get used to trying to use your grab to force the opponent to jump, right? To scare them. So you start anti-airing a lot as a grappler. And Pat pointed out, boy, that gets way stronger with Mimi because it's like, okay, my command grab is fully charged. It'll do fucking 50%. You better fucking start jumping.
Yeah, like you like basically imagine if instead of Mistfinder, it was Podbuster, and that's it. That's literally the mechanic. Imagine if after throwing 3 coins at you, Johnny just fucking just did a fucking Tiger Driver on you and it did 75%.
Imagine if Potemkin got the Strive levels of damage off the Potbuster in X2.
Yes, but no, in Guilty Gear 1, because that's the one where you can charge the level of a move.
I was just hoping to go for like a game that's not bounced the Strive way, but okay, yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's all been interesting stuff coming out of it, and I swear there's more, but my brain is not working. So if I remember what I will remember, then I'll remember the memory. And oh boy, it's been a hell of a fucking week.
Yeah. By the way, before we continue, I forgot to put up the bingo card, so here it is. You can play along at home. We will probably hit most of these. So there's that. What does I haven't resized the everything else? So we're actually just like talking to Faust's head, or talking at Faust's head. But yeah, like people saw maybe one square of the bingo card. It was probably the letter B. But anyway. So yeah. Things like this get sorted out eventually. I only have to fuck it up once to remember, hey, I should probably look into that. But yeah. So, first things first. I guess let's hit up the news. I saw one here, but it disappeared. What the fuck? Well, oh, there it is. So, I forget if we talked about this on last fighting games or not. I don't think we did, so I'll bring it up again. Dance Fighting Hurts crossplay patch is live. Console or Steam is a live completely. Console is opening up region to region. So who knows when that will be done? But it's in the progress. It's in progress. Yeah, there we go. Words. So that's cool for people who play Dance Fighting Hurts.
Yeah.
Then, in even less in things that matter even less to us, Chaos Code, New Sign of Catastrophe, which will be a new game in the Chaos Code series, will get a physical release on the Nintendo Switch, but only by this one company that imports Japanese games. So it's a thing of like, technically it's getting released in the West, but not really.
Yeah.
Then, Mortal Kombat 12 is here. It is on your mobile. It is a gacha. Fuck you. What do you mean you don't have phones?
This is not worth talking about. This is like, look, I get that mobile gaming sucks, and point and laugh, but I could not care. I could not give less of a shit about any of this, even just to point and laugh at it. Like, it sucks. I don't play phone games. There you go.
I mean, it's not even just don't play phone games. Don't play phone games that don't respect you as a player, which gacha games generally do. Like, gacha games generally just see you as money, And I mean, most companies generally see you as money, but gacha games generally show it too. Like they make it pretty apparent that they only see you as money.
It's like I don't care.
The reason I even now saved this is because, like, to me, the thing that the existence of this thing isn't the big point about it. It's the timing of, like, the last week or whatever, 2 weeks ago. They're like, hey, 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat. Look forward to our new projects. And then a week later, they're like, all right, give us all of your money. Here's our PNG of Sub-Zero.
I don't think NetherRealm works on those games at all. Like mobile games, that's all outsourced fucking Chinese studios.
It probably is, but it's still funny timing from Warner Brothers. You know.
I don't think Warner Brothers care. We've observed over the last couple months, that Warner Brothers corporate does not really care. Like,
I mean, Warner Brothers corporate doesn't exist anymore. It's all Discovery, so.
That's true. It's you can tell NetherRealm is probably having quite a bit of difficulty with COVID, which is understandable.
Yeah.
There's very few devs that did pretty well take real well to COVID. Which, by the way, fucking, unless the game turns out to be terrible, apparently, big ups for old Sony Santa Monica, who somehow managed to get God of War Ragnarok out anyway. But it's that, and I think there seems to be some like fuckery going on for there to have been in quick succession. What?
You could add what's going on?
There must be some licensing fuckery going on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the rumors about them making a DC versus Marvel game were fucking bogus from the start. That's not going to happen in a video game. If it happens at all in the next decade or two, before one or both franchises hits the fucking ice.
Yeah, I feel like a DC versus Marvel game would happen if Disney bought out DC.
Yeah. Like, why would Disney license out Marvel to a company that's under Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? There was probably, I mean, I have to assume anything involving that many licensed characters, even if you're staying in the same company, is just a pain in the ass to get off the ground. Multiverses is one of the biggest miracles of our time. Like, whoever is working in that licensing department must be just like a fucking god of bureaucracy. It's just, am I still here?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So, licensing all those DC characters, all of whom Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, probably have loads of fights over their rights. And worse than that, probably management over those various ones get very persnickety about certain things. You know, DC management has in the past been annoyingly prickish about, trying to avoid brand confusion, for instance, or confusion, excuse me, not confusement, confusion. For instance, Batman villains not being allowed in the Justice League TV show after a certain point because they didn't want to get confused with the Batman show.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the movies, they just make an absolute clusterfuck where you're not sure what's canon and what's not. Yeah. And I mean, of course, there's always been big talks for a long time about people wanting NetherRealm to do a horror game fighter. Pretty well do terror.
Yeah. Hasn't Ed Boon himself been like, hey, I want to do Terror Dome?
Well, he said that, but he's also said he wants to do Virtua Fighter, and we all know he's not going to be allowed to do Virtua Fighter.
I mean, that's true.
Like, I'll be honest, if there was a, NetherRealm horror fighter, I'd have a hard time not comparing it to Terrordrome itself. Especially considering that NetherRealm has gotten more and more rigid with each game. They might loosen up after 11, because 11, I think, went so far that even NetherRealm has to recognize, like, okay, this is not actually helping casuals at all. This game is still like Mortal Kombat 11. You can clearly see, like, okay, let's tighten things up so casuals can understand this. That game is still fucking impenetrable to casuals.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's still a goddamn fighting game.
Yeah, and also like some of the helpful things, but also things where you look at it as a casual and you're like, okay, so what the fuck do I do with this? Like the frame display is very helpful to people who fucking understand how you read it. And then for everyone else, it's like, all right, so according to this hieroglyph, I need to press X.
Yeah. Advanced tutorials are cool for people who are at the low level and interested in getting in, but it's not going to help the casual.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's something that the average game dev has to recognize, which is that their Call of Duty is like the second or third most popular video game in the world, right? It's up there with FIFA and Fortnite.
I don't know anymore. That's the thing. Like Call of Duty was very popular for the 2010s or the 2000s and like half of the 2010s, and then it kind of fell off, and now it's kind of just like a ghost that's still haunting the gaming industry.
Well, I mean, it's not it. Okay, either which way. Look, every casual gamer has had the experience. Every casual gamer with an internet connection has had the experience of opening up COD, going into multiplayer, running into a map, getting killed by somebody they didn't see, and that happens again and again and again. And they keep coming back anyway. So I think there are perhaps other things that need to be looked at here as to what's causing casuals to not pick up so much.
Yeah.
Now, granted, NetherRealm, no matter what, already has the casual domination just because Mortal Kombat brand value. But
I mean,
let's not pretend there aren't also other things going on that ensure NetherRealm gets the casual audience, you know?
Yeah, like NetherRealm, as much as I don't enjoy their games after 9, maybe 10, if you want to be generous, but still, like NetherRealm does most things that you need to do to try and at least get casuals in. It has a story mode, it has arcade mode, it has fucking the towers that are always refreshing, so you have stuff to come back to even if you don't want to play online.
Hypothetically infinite content.
Yes, hypothetically infinite content. You have progression.
And there is nothing casuals love more than I want value for my dollar. Hypothetically infinite gameplay is hypothetically infinite value.
Yes. And there's also separate modes that kind of change it up. Like the crypt went from a grid to being an adventure game mode, like Devil Within. I don't know why, but it did, and that's something that casuals would enjoy.
Yes.
What else? Like if you want to play online, there's also different modes. So like you can play King of the Ring, or is it King of the Mountain? I don't know. Whatever.
King of the Hill.
the third one.
King of the Hill is yeah. King of the Ring. Having tournaments would be rad, but
yeah. But like you have that. You have you had tag matches in 9 that were not balanced, and that was their selling point. Bring those back. But
yeah.
But like you had those. You have your actual like 1v1s that are more like competitive, and then you have actual ranked mode, so you can have a wide array of what people might want to do online as well. Like Mortal Kombat does a lot of things well. The reason it's not bigger with the general FGC is just because the controls feel weird when you're not used to them, and then even when you're used to them, you're kind of like, well, I don't know. At least that's been my experience.
Well, Mortal Kombat kind of has its own competitive FGC.
Yeah,
it's kind of an issue. Like there's definitely some degree of overlap.
Yeah, it's the same issue with Smash, where like Smash has its own competitive scene that's not the FGC, and some people from that scene had like there is some overlap between that scene and the general FGC, but it's not the same entity.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. The only really major overlap is that Leffen dude, right? Isn't that Leffen dude? Both regular FGC and Smash.
Well, Leffen tried to do like regular FGC, and I forget which games he liked. but not
Well,
many.
like for Mortal Kombat, like just off the top of my head, I mean, for one thing, Maximilian Dude, who is, like him or not, one of the bigger voices in the fighting game community, has gotten really into Mortal Kombat. In Mortal Kombat 10, did not really get into Smash at any point. And Sonic Fox is, of course, the NetherRealm god, who from time to time steps out and fucking smites a random competitive community at his leisure.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely a lot more overlap, but I would say, yes, it's a little bit of the combos are different. Mortal Kombat feels a bit more. Jumps definitely feel like weightier. It's been so long since I've put time into another NetherRealm game. I can't put fingers to it. Yeah, the way they
Yeah.
handle projectiles is. I think they have to acknowledge at a certain point, NetherRealm does, that the way they handle projectiles is a problem, right?
You'd imagine, but at the same time, you have to look at things. You have to think about the legacy. So let's look at the legacy. You had Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 worked like worked like most fighting games do because it is the backbone of most fighting games. It is the
Yes.
it is the sheen or whatever that is placed upon every other fighting game that they build around. Mortal Kombat looked at that and went, "Fuck that shit." And they did similar things, but like they still sort of built off of the ideas of Street Fighter 2, but it broke a lot of things that Street Fighter 2 put forward in an effort to try and make things different, and they did, which is why combos aren't that much of a thing until UMK3, in which case they're a bug, really. or like how instead of normals you have you don't have
there are touches of death in Mortal Kombat 1. There are touches of death in Mortal Kombat 1.
But it's a thing of okay, so think about Chun-Li and Ryu. They have different movesets. They have different normals, different specials, different whatever. Think about Kitana and Sub-Zero. Functionally and visually, they have the same normals. They have different specials, but they have the same normals. That changes the game a lot.
Yes, it does.
And I feel like Mortal Kombat existing as it does right now is kind of just continuing on this line where it's like, yes, everyone has different normals now, but also we can't let it be too much like other fighting games because then it stops being Mortal Kombat. We need to keep it fucking weird. We have to keep it just like be that slight bit off.
Honestly, I don't think Mortal Kombat has that much worry about legacy.
I don't know if it does. I mean, they fucking rewrote the story 4 times and we're on the way to the 5th, so,
I mean, like, with just about any of the characters, like, Scorpion or Sub-Zero are probably the most consistent characters, right? With Scorpion, no matter what, you're going to get Spear, you're going to get Teleport. But other than that, Scorpion is kind of like a clusterfuck, right? Do you get Hellfire? Do you get the flip kick? Do you get the little slidey leg sweep thing?
Yeah.
Sub-Zero, it is entirely like you get Ice Ball and Ice Slide, that's guaranteed. But most of the time nowadays, Sub-Zero Ice Clone is not part of Sub-Zero's base kit anymore.
I mean, it wasn't for a long while.
Well, he can still get it in X and 11, but he's got to choose the right variation.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Ice Clone, didn't Ice Clone only get introduced with the Mass Class Sub-Zero? I forget.
It may have been an MK3 thing. I don't know for certain. I'm far from an expert on the original trilogy.
I feel like Ice Clone was a Mass Class thing, and then Mass Sub-Zero still didn't have Ice Clone and stuff like that in UMK3, and then going forward, sometimes Sub-Zero has Ice Clone, sometimes it doesn't because consistency.
Yeah. Oh, Johnny. Does Johnny get the flip kick or the Shoryuken?
Yeah. Or both.
Does he get up ball and low ball, or does he just get straight ball?
Does he get super kick?
Does Kano get command grabs?
I mean, command grabs are a new thing. Kano always was just Blanca, but bald.
Yeah.
Like, the bigger question is, does Kano get a projectile from his eye? That's the real inconsistency, because he had it in 1 through 3, and then, or actually, Did he? He had it in 1, I think. He definitely had it in 3. And then after that, it's just like, okay, sometimes Kano can shoot even like any sort of laser from his eye, and sometimes he just can't.
I want to. Was it not in 9? It would shoot a beam, like a draggable beam. In Mortal Kombat X, it was that weird restand move that let Kano do crazy combos in X. And then on 11, it's like he does a crouching low beam.
Yeah, something like that.
Boy, Kano only gets one consistent move with the fucking ball. The Kano ball.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, like, but Baraka is fairly consistent. He gets chop chop, he gets the projectile, he gets the lunge. That's it.
Yeah. Liu Kang's consistent. Dragon kick, bicycle kick, low ball, high ball.
Yeah, Ermac's also fairly consistent. The only really inconsistent thing is whether he gets a spirit ball or not.
Yeah.
Or sorry, dark ball,
No,
I think.
Yeah. There's also the weird float stance thing that he gets in 9 and X, I believe.
Yeah, but that's also a modern thing.
That's true.
Like usually his thing is like telekinesis, fucking the teleslam, teleport, and then dark ball whenever he has it.
Jax, they can't I like you can tell where Mortal Kombat 9 was very willing to accept a lot of the goofiness from the original trilogy coming in. And so they're like, oh, fuck it, yeah, Jax totally gets unblockable ground pound for free. Why the hell not? And then X and 11 were both like, we need to figure some way around this.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, Quan Chi. Has Quan Chi ever had a consistent moveset?
I don't remember his moveset from 4.
I want to say he always gets the teleport stomp, but that's it. Everything else changes from game to game, I believe.
I don't even remember if he had that in 4.
Yeah. Nobody got anything in 4. It was just bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Everyone got silly endings. That's what they got. All right, next topic.
Yeah. All right, so we have 2 topics. One of them is more jokey, and the other one is more legitimate. Which one do you want to hit?
Well, I think we just had a fairly lengthy discussion there, so let's go for the joke first.
All right. So do you remember a while back where we discussed the assessment that it is in fact gay to do combo?
Yeah.
There was an update. So, not only is it gay to do combo, but I'm
strategy.
I'm opening up the thing so I can tell you the exact quote. So, not only is it gay to do combo, but only women play body.
Oh, in the body, heart, mind trifecta, right?
Yeah. They didn't say that that's verbatim, but that's pretty much what they say.
Okay, show me the exact quote.
Will do.
You said you were pulling up the exact quote and then paraphrased it?
Yeah, for suspense.
You fucker. You fucker. Fuck.
1 second, this Discord is not being helpful. There you go. But yeah, so for the viewer, somebody claimed, I can typically tell when my opponent is male/female based on the patterns it responds. Men typically act based on observation, experience, data. Women opponents often play more intuitively, reactionally fluid assumption. Whatever the fuck that means.
That's not saying women are body, that's saying women are heart and men are mind. Oh boy. You know, that I have nothing to say about that, I guess.
It certainly is a tick in it.
It's stupidity.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, like it is the same line of thinking because it's gay to do combo.
I that guy seems like he's actually more along the lines of it's gay to play grappler or zoner, which is probably a fairly common take on Xbox Live, actually.
But I mean, it has a difference between there's a difference between
Big brain setup character, gay grappler zoner. What about Rushdown? We don't talk about Rushdown.
they're bi. uh, to me, it's a thing like there's a difference between calling things that you don't like gay, which is out of fashion, but still it's a thing. But there's a difference between that and insinuating that for a fact that if someone can do X, they are gay. And that's sort of what this is. For a fact that if someone plays heart or body, they're women. Why? How?
It shows their feminine power.
Yeah, it's something taking the feminine dick. I don't know. Make your own joke.
No. Yeah, that's just that's a Twitter take right there.
Yep, sure is.
Next.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Next bit.
All right. I can't find the actual post. I was going to look into it so we can have examples. Bless you. But there was a question raised, which I think it could be a fun discussion, which is, what are your favorite wing quotes for characters?
The one we saw in Strive just earlier this week of Zato, excuse me. Oh yeah, Zato, when he beats you, saying congratulations, you work for the government now.
Yeah, it has you're going to Brazil vibes.
Like I haven't been paying attention to what Zato's story is, nor do I really care. But that is just so like I'm reminded of the Time Cube thing when
Yeah.
Mike was reading it through it on the recording, and he said, "You will die stupid and evil," and I said that should be a fighting game quote. It reminded me of that.
I mean, you will die stupid and evil. It's like on a fucking Akuma wing quote.
Yeah.
Imagine fuck. Imagine if they release Akuma's DLC for Street Fighter 6 and his wing quote just it starts going at like 2 points text size, and it's just a fucking time cube. It doesn't.
Oh my god!
It doesn't fit the box. Fuck. Like I don't. The thing is, if they're gonna put G back in, which they might not, but if they put G back in, that needs to be one of his wing quotes.
The Tom Cube can be used to unite America, my boy.
Yeah. Fuck. So yeah, that's really good. One of my favorites is one that I always bring up, but there's this one quote from Rule in CVS 2, and it's really simple. But I just really like the thing of, like, a guy who is or was the main antagonist of KOF for years, or at least a couple of years, fucking, big evil corporate man. He beats you and he just goes, "Evil is the spice of life." Cool.
Like, it's explicit. I am evil.
Yeah.
You would not believe how evil I am, boy.
I'm trying to look for the examples that I saw, but I can't seem to find it. So anyway, yeah, there's also a really good Akuma Ring quote from Alpha, where he's like, I don't remember the exact quote, but it's something like, your body has taken its true form now that I have pummeled you with my fist, or something like that. Which is it's very Akuma. There's no real other adjective or whatever to apply to it. It's very Akuma.
I don't know. Akuma must be sounding kind of weird now.
Do you have any other favorites like that? W?
Win quotes, I think.
What about win quotes you cut out, I think?
Oh, fuck me. I just said I'm not very good at remembering win quotes, I think.
There was also the one, but I think it's in KOF, but Terry, if you play through the arcade mode with Terry or something like that, he just tells everyone to start a family.
I thought, what was that one? Didn't Terry have in one game? I'm in the pink now, rub-a-dub-dub. What?
Yeah. KOF. KOF is a gold mine for good win quotes.
No shit.
But yeah. Then I guess I found other news. The Among Us Arena creator unveils a new project in Blue Blood Arena featuring Triple H. That last part is a bit, but the Blue Blood Arena up to Blue Blood Arena is true.
Man, I nearly got hype there.
I mean, it would be fucking weird if Triple H just fucking went back to the Connecticut Blue Blood gimmick to promote this game that's probably gonna be mechanically a spin-off of an Among Us game, you know?
Why?
Yeah? Is he gone? He is great. There we go.
Okay.
All right, and we're back. Maybe.
Blue Blood, where Triple H's original gimmick comes back to pick a fight with all of his other gimmicks.
Yes. But no, it's the same as Among Us Arena, but instead of different colored fucking space people, it's different colors. Triple H when he was like 45.
Yeah. Well, at least it's post-Terra Rising, Hunter.
Yeah. But yeah, Blue Ball Arena is gonna be a thing. People can look forward to it, I suppose. I don't know. We never played Among Us Arena, so I have no opinion. Then something that's an interesting thing to discuss is something that you brought up earlier, actually, multiverses. So according to the only amount or the whatever the only way we can easily tell player count, which is Steam, it went through a similar thing as DNF Duel, where even though it had a lot of people playing it a while back, now it's like a tenth of that, which in the case of multiverses is still fucking big. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But it's all but that also means that you know that there's also the different thing of DNF Duel has a price. There's an entry price. So DNF Duel already made its money. This game is free.
Yeah.
And less people playing it is worse for the game overall.
Well, we don't really know how many people are actually buying microtransactions, which is of course the.
Yeah, that's true.
The thing is, we're also probably going to see it go up and down depending on what grabs they make. I think a fair bit of the hype has gone down from the next ones being Black Adam and Gremlins. Their name?
Yeah.
Because I love.
Uh-oh. Love you. Hello. You heard him say it. It is true. Alright, so yeah, you law. That's where we left off. Love you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Did the part come through me saying that Black Adam and Gremlins are probably a part of it?
Yes.
Neither come through for Generation Z, right?
Yeah.
Gremlins are too old, Black Adam's too obscure. The fact that he got a movie at all is kind of shocking, other than Rock just wanted it as a movie where he could play a superhero that kills people.
Yeah.
Whoever the next announcement is, which soon says the scuttlebutt's been that it's going to be Joker, and Joker will be a big one, of course. I'm also kind of surprised that Rick and Morty didn't bring the player count up more. And, I mean, there was stuff for Godzilla, was there not?
Yeah. There was stuff for Godzilla. Allegedly, at least.
Like, you can't tell me that wouldn't get people's eyes on it.
I mean, with Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty. But yeah, with Rick and Morty, it's a thing of like, they have a fan base, but that fan base itself is also why it's not as well looked upon nowadays. So
that is true. The second thing did a lot to kill Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So like the Gen Z people that I've seen would be like, "You Rick and Morty, no," which is what I did.
Huh.
So. But yeah, the reason that this was brought up as a topic at all is someone raised the question of if multiverses, a thing that is a platform fighter which is more accessible to the general public and is free, went through this, then can we expect anything better for long term for traditional fighting games?
That is not at all a fair question. Because we don't like. What is the actual number of people playing multiverses now? For it to have gone down, 10 times, what is the number now?
2,000.
2,000 active players at any given time.
Yeah, it seems like it.
On what platform?
Steam.
That sounds like a ludicrously low number.
Because Steam is the only one that we can account for, because Steam is the only platform that people have figured out a way to make good guesstimates. Is the best way I can put it. Apparently, I don't know, because I don't look into that stuff myself all that much.
Hang on, let me pull up the Steam. I actually do not believe those numbers.
Like the numbers seem to be between 2,000 and 4,000. But two is closer to the concurrent at all times, and 4 is the general active in a day.
Okay, so Brawlhalla has 12,000 players right now. I refuse to believe Multiverses is doing worse than Brawlhalla.
Allegedly, it seems like it is, which is the weird thing. And even in the discussion that I've seen people head over this, people were like, "Well, what the fuck do you mean it's doing worse than Brawlhalla?" Which is fair.
That is not a accurate number at all. I fucking guarantee you. Tekken 7 has about 4,000 players right now. For Honor has 3,500. Mordhau has 2,000. Mortal Kombat 11 has 2,000. Multiverses should be doing better than Tekken, For Honor, Mordhau, and Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, which is why this discussion was raised. Of like,
can you link me where you got that number from?
Yes. This is the discussion itself, and then I need to look into it because there's a place where people are getting this from, but I don't remember the place exactly.
Hang on. I'll pull up the Steam DB for Multiverses.
That may be it. I don't know.
Yeah, there are 2,500 players right now. And 3 months ago, it was 150,000.
Yeah.
That is a fucking meteoric drop that should be on all of the front headlines.
Yes, so I suppose I suppose there are less people playing Multiverses than Brawlhalla.
The fact that people aren't talking about this makes me suspect.
I mean, people are talking about this where I linked it, but aside from that, I haven't seen all that much.
I mean, r/fighters is mostly a place for people who on competitive stuff, people who would consider themselves distinctly fighting games, who would try to play every fighting game they can. It's not really a fair place to say, like, this is the intellectualism of game marketing. This is not the...
I mean, that is true, but we're looking at two separate places. I found the place where they got this number from, or where they looked it up.
That's SteamDB.
No, Stream Charts. So, yeah, we looked at both SteamDB and Steam Charts, and I'm gonna look at SteamDB again. But if memory serves, they show two different numbers, but those numbers are very close by, which is probably a thing for alarm, because then that means that it's somewhat accurate, you know? And it's a thing of like, okay, yeah, so there is a 4 or 200 player difference between the two, but that's still not enough, you know?
That still doesn't account for how many players there are on console.
Yeah, that's also
which
true.
You have to keep in mind, multiverses like your Fortnuts and your so-ons, your Fall Guys, is going to be a game that is mostly getting played by a lot of teenagers and kids who are going to be on console, not PC. So Steam numbers being a bit Steam numbers being low is not the biggest indicator.
At the same time,
yes, that is a brutally low number.
Yeah, like at the same time, it is kind of sus that it went from 150,000 to 2,000, you know?
Yes, that is very odd. Like, that is the biggest drop I've ever heard of.
I mean, if you want to talk about proportions or whatever the fuck instead of draw numbers, and I think DNF Duel was worse, but that game went from 4,000 to 300 or something like that. So in like a month, I'm gonna look that up. Now that I say that. Okay. Currently, there are 25 people playing DNF Duel.
Okay, well, it's doing better than DNF Duel.
Yes, it is definitely doing better than fucking DNF Duel. Can we see how much the height was? All right, so the all-time peak for DNF Duel was 12,000, and They're somewhere between 22
What?
and 25. Yeah, apparently the all-time peak on Steam for DNF Duel was 12,324, and the concurrent players right now seem to be somewhere between 22 and 25.
The number I saw was 150,000. That's a lot more than 12,000.
No, for DNF Duel, not Multiverses.
Oh, for DNF Duel. I was about to say. To be honest, I'm shocked it got that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Go ahead.
The mysterious part here is that for you to bring up the Reddit thing of like, well, it's not doing like multiverses, what it not doing well, what does it mean for fighting games as a whole trying this method? But the thing is, going just purely off of numbers, multiverses is doing less numbers than Tekken or Mortal Kombat 11, and probably about competitive with Street Fighter 5, despite those games being much older. So the question of whether or not this is relevant to fighting games, statistically speaking, I don't think this is relevant. It's almost like it's just two entirely different consumer bases, just by sheer basis of, by all logical means, multiverses should not have lower numbers than games that you have to pay for that are old and don't have as much kid appeal. And yet, multiverses is doing worse than games that you have to pay for that are old and don't have much kid appeal.
Yeah, like this discussion, the reason
on Steam.
Yeah,
on Steam. Need to clarify that because that is a big change for the kid audience.
But yeah, like the reason I brought this up is just because of this last point that you raised, and how that's weird. Because by all forms of logic, multiverses should be doing like twice as much as Tekken because it's free and has Batman. Yet at the same time, it's somehow gone to this, and like once again, as you pointed out just now, and as me to say it ever again. Of course, we don't know the full story because we don't have numbers for either of the consoles. But once again, it's a thing of like, well, yes, we don't see how many console players there are. They may make up for the lack of PC players. At the same time, the fact that there were 153,000 PC players apparently, and it's gone down to 2 to somewhere around 2, is still a pretty big jump.
Well, there's always going to be a big amount that drop off just because it's like, hey, you want to install this and play it with me? Sure, play one match, uninstall.
That's true, but you imagine that for makeup for like 100,000 of the 150,000,
people are look at achievements, PlayStation or Steam, and see how many people have completed the achievements for completing the tutorial, and you'll find that there are a shocking amount of people who start a game, who buy a game, start it, and the first 5 minutes before they've even got through the tutorial, they quit, they uninstall, and they never play again.
Yeah, that's true.
People don't make any fucking sense. The thing, excuse me. The thing is, if I may be so bold as to suggest this, is that the idea that fighting games are a dying niche medium may be kind of a holdover from a bygone era on some level, because fighting games were kind of a dying niche medium in the mid-2000s. But
I don't know. No, Street Fighter was a dying niche medium. Tekken was fine.
Yes. But on top of that, I would say there are a lot of people who will say, oh, fighting games are a dying niche medium, but they aren't really talking about fighting games. What they're talking about is Unist, or Melty Blood, or Blaze Blue, or Skullgirls. And there are a lot of games I like in those series. That doesn't change. Those are niche games that are bound to be niche games just by nature, and not because they're fighting games, but because they are goofy weebo anime games, or just inaccessible, built for multiplayer, blah, 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 built for, like, not even built for online multiplayer, built for local multiplayer, or built for a Japanese audience and only ported over to America on a cheap shoestring budget. All this shit, at the end of the day, on some level, no matter how much talk there is about, well, we need to work to protect fighting games, at the end of the day, there's really only space for 3 or 4 top franchises, if that.
Yeah.
And we have Street Fighter, we have Mortal Kombat, we have Tekken. That's pretty well your top 3 franchises, and those do well. If Street Fighter 6's hype cycle keeps up, there is a good chance that we go back to the thing of Capcom kind of cucking everyone else in the industry by doing so well, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Because the average casual player does not want to play every fighting game. They want one fighting game that gives them a lot of bang for their buck.
Yeah.
If given the choice between Tekken and BlazBlue, they'll pick Tekken every single fucking time.
I mean, so will we. Well, it depends.
Well,
it depends.
Depends on the Tekken, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know, because I feel like we can have fun in Tekken 7 playing online, assuming the netcode doesn't shit itself, which it's Tekken 7. But still, like, you know, we can have some sort of fun in Tekken 7, but like it's very limited.
I'll probably take Tekken 7 over any BlazBlue. I was thinking more Tekken 4.
Yeah, Tekken 4 could be fun. In a BlazBlue sense, but still.
Also, Tekken 1 and 2 do not have very much for you to do unless you got to play with someone else, whereas BlazBlue has a lot for you to do.
Yeah. I mean, Tekken 1 and 2, I would take BlazBlue over Tekken 1 and 2 just because of how badly aged they are. Like, you know, it's a thing of like, yeah, I can go back and be like, okay, so this is where Tekken got its start. This is where these moves come from. This is why we have these things in the later games. And then I go, okay, I don't want to play this game for the next 3 years.
Eh.
Because like
you go back and play Tekken 1.
Yeah.
You go back and play Tekken 1 just to go, oh, so this is why Kazuya's animations look so jank.
Yeah. Like you go back to play Tekken 1 and you go, man, I wish this was Virtua Fighter. And then you either play Virtua Fighter or the later Tekkens. Because Tekken 1 and 2 to me are still is like, you know, it's a very obvious thing to me how they were trying to, you know, work off of Virtua Fighter with Tekken 1 and 2, and then it took until 3.
Moon jumps.
Yeah, the moon jumps and stuff like that, which I disliked in Virtua Fighter as well, but you know, that's Virtua Fighter, so whatever. It's when we get to like Tekken 3 where Tekken starts to form its own identity.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't sidestep in Tekken 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Kazuya could, and he was the only one.
No, I think people could as long as their moves made them sidestep naturally, but otherwise, no.
Yeah. Kazuya in Tekken 2 was the only character that could just sidestep on command.
Ah. But yeah. With Street Fighter 6, like, you know, there's very much this thing of everyone follows Capcom because they made Street Fighter 2. So I'm really hoping. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't really have anything else to say there except doubling down on there's got to be something more there.
Yeah. But yeah, so like with Street Fighter 6, I hope Capcom can actually I hope Capcom surprises me and they don't fuck up anything in Street Fighter 6, and it is the quality product that it seems like it will be. So that then the rest of the industry looks at it and goes, fuck, we need to get our shit together. And I'll take less fighting games if that means that I'll get better ones, you know?
Yeah.
Because yeah, go ahead.
There really just needs to be, I mean, to be honest, on some level, what you want is more single-player content for your fighting games. But a lot of fighting games, at least that we look into, are relatively low budget, and generally for those guys, it's like, we can't really do single-player content.
I mean, it depends, because allegedly, Them's Fighting Curse has a pretty good single player suite, I guess. I don't know. But, like, I don't expect that game to have any more budget than, like, Guilty Gear Strive.
Mm.
And yet,
Yeah, well, what
yeah,
Guilty Gear's up to is something weird altogether.
yeah.
I mean, that's going to have to be, like, one of those questions just for, like, sheer how different it is of Guilty Gear and Mortal Kombat going more and more down the route of less is more, less is more, less is more, less is more. And then Street Fighter with 6 saying, no more is more. Is like, ooh, is this... Who wins this tug of war?
Yeah, and then recently, I didn't watch the video, but recently, Sakurai posted a video with just the title being something like "More is More," and it's just a picture of Kazuya doing the hell sweep. And
he's referring to animation.
Yeah, I figured, but it's still funny in the context.
Well, it's especially funny because Tekken 7 for single player content does not have more is more.
Yeah. I mean, allegedly they tried. Allegedly. But, it was kind of a half-assed effort. But yeah. So I suppose that's this topic. It's I figured it would be an interesting thing to bring up just because of this is even like I didn't expect, like, okay, how do I put this? I expected Multiversus to do well, even if it doesn't do things that I like, and these numbers are fucking shocking. Even if they are like maybe 1/3 of the actual numbers, but still.
I'm gonna do a quick Google search for research.
All right. Yuri feet. Or fucking Yuri Street Fighter 6 feet. Yes.
I nearly looked up Fortnite Steam DB and I was like, wait a second.
Should I look it up? I have both of them open.
No. You can't look up Fortnite Steam DB because Fortnite isn't on Steam. It's Epic.
Ah, right. Wait, is it not on Steam at all?
No.
Oh, that's news to me. So yeah.
I forget that routinely. So, just to like put the numbers in perspective, I'm looking at what are the most played games on Steam through SteamDB. So, number one, shocking to me, is CS:GO at 700,000 players.
That's not shocking to me. CS:GO has had the most staying power. I can't tell you why, but it has. Like,
Counter-Strike seems like one of those games where it's like they've just worked it down to a formula, and they'll put new skins on it, but other than that, everybody's just happy to have it work on the same formula.
Yeah, I mean, like, Counter-Strike being the way it is, like, Counter-Strike is pretty, like, the place where Counter-Strike is where Quake should be, is how I can put it. Like Counter-Strike is just a small, is a small step, I suppose, in going between the realistic shooters and Quake. And so it's still kind of an arena shooter, but not really. But it's still more of an arena shooter than a realistic shooter, so that's why people flock to it. Then there was Valorant, and Valorant just took CS:GO and put in the Overwatch heroes, and that's why that game has players. But yeah.
So there's then a pretty big jump going from number 1 at Counter-Strike. Number 6, Team Fortress 2, 90,000 players. So CS:GO and Dota are just kind of leading everyone else wildly. That's funny.
Yeah.
Terraria is number 14 with 50,000 players. That's funny, actually.
Yeah.
And Dead by Daylight has about 50,000 as well.
How is PUBG 4? Well, Korea,
PUBG,
I think.
Korea, yeah. Civ 6 at 30,000. Total War Warhammer also at 30,000.
Payday 2, also at 30,000. And so is Gary's
fighting
mod.
games aren't.
Yeah.
This is interesting to put in perspective. Well, for one thing, it's fine to put in perspective how old games that are still getting the fucking original Counter-Strike.
What about it? Uh-oh. Okay,
What?
Okay, yeah, we're back.
I was just saying the original Counter-Strike still has 12,000 players.
Ah. But yeah, because there were like balance changes and stuff like that between that and Go. Oh wait, do you mean original or do you mean 1.6? Or do you mean fucking Source?
Source has 4,000 players.
Yeah, Source wasn't the most liked one. Yeah, but I think by original you mean 1.6. This looks like what I remember 1.6 being liked.
Yeah. Among Us has actually gone down quite a bit. It's like only around 6,000 or 7,000, it looks like. But a lot of people play Among Us on their phones, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Among Us is also one of those games that's, I think for a lot of people, it's more fun. If you don't have a group of friends like we do, or like a lot of YouTubers do, it's not a very fun one to play because playing that game with strangers sucks. So that one probably for a lot of people is more fun to watch than play just because they don't have the people to play it with, you know?
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Odyssey has 6,000 players running up.
I'm shocked by the amount of single-player games that are like years old and people are still playing.
I mean, with Assassin's Creed, I can't blame them, or I can't blame people for still playing it because that game is built around fucking grind. You would still be playing it because you need to get that next fucking like it's Diablo loot.
Yeah,
that's all I can say. It's Diablo loot. There are strange things to a man. Speaking of, was Neo up above? Because it should be. It has Diablo loot.
Yeah. Neo, I can tell you, is the exact kind of game that a lot of people would just go, "Oh fuck no."
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so and like if you scroll to the second page of SteamDB, Tekken 7 is there. So we didn't need to look. And so is For Honor right under it. So you don't need to look too far. I mean, they are on the 119 or 190th and 191st spots, but still, like that's bless you.
Thank you.
Considering that it's out of literally every game on Steam, that's a pretty good placement rather. Spacement. Space basement, yes.
I mean, that's always going to be the thing is like, why doesn't Tekken 7 have 700,000 players? And it's like, think about how many game genres out there, bud, that are sitting there asking that question, right? Yeah.
Like fucking Hollow Knight is at 201st with nearly 3,500 players. Like that's a single player game. Tekken 7 is doing fine.
A single player indie game that's actually quite old.
Yeah. Darkest Dungeon with 2,600.
Darkest Dungeon players are obsessive. Those guys, it doesn't shock me. Those guys will play that game until they die.
Yeah, that's true. Here's one that might be surprising. Slime Rancher, the first one.
Darkest Dungeon has a very active modding community, and whenever you've got a very active modding community, you have effectively got infinite game.
Yeah, that's also true. But yeah, Slime Rancher at 2,000. The first one, not even the second one. The first one.
There's a second Slime Rancher?
I think it might be Epic exclusive. I forget. But it's
oh god damn it!
Yeah, I think it's Epic exclusive on PC, and then you can have it on Xbox.
Slime Rancher's a cutesy game. It's just I always put like a 10-hour session in and don't come back for another year. Once a year, 10-hour session.
I've tried to play through it twice. Once on Xbox, once on PS4. Both of the times, there was a point where the game just started running in single frames, in sub 5 frames, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. But yeah, people, there's still 1,700 people playing Metal Gear Solid 5. So, you know, fighting games are alright. I'd say.
Hello?
Yeah?
Okay, I was dead for a while there.
Ah, okay. I found Neo. It's a 392.
That is not a surprising number.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a that placement. It has 1,200 people playing. Nearly 1,300.
You know what's another thing we're not accounting for here?
Yeah.
People are using the Steam DB charts to keep track of how successful a fighting game is. The overwhelming majority of people are not going to play fighting games on PC.
I don't know. That seems to be like you say that only that kids will play on consoles or whatever. Like that, all of that seems to be bucking into everyone plays on PC except if the fucking something or other. Like kids will either be playing or like very young kids will either be playing on phone or console. But anyone over the age of like 8 will probably be playing on PC.
You can't let Reddit influence the way you look at these things, man. Reddit, yes, is hardcore PC gamers that know every model piece and they've got their rig set up. But
she plays on PC.
But the majority of people, I think, still are very much, give me a fucking console. I don't need to worry about the specs. Just give me a fucking console, download the game, and let me play the COD blobs.
I don't know. It might be a place thing. In Europe, PCs seem to be favored overwhelmingly.
That may be part of it, but there are other things that change the numbers as well. Because Korea is big on PC gaming. Japan very much isn't.
Yeah. Japan is very big on mobile gaming.
With fighting games, a lot of the player base is Japanese.
Yeah.
But I think there's also just going to be a lot of people, even people who would consider themselves, hardcore gamers, who are like, why would I play a fighting game on PC? It's mouse and keyboard.
I don't know, because there's always a plug and play thing. Because, Steam just takes care of that. So.
That is true, but honestly, I have little confidence in the capability of people to pay attention to realize that.
Hey, I don't know. Like to me, it's just a thing of like everyone around me and everyone anytime anywhere I look on the internet, people are just like, okay, so play on PC. Consoles can be a good investment if you don't want to play it or if you don't want to bother with like upgrading and shit like that. But play on PC. That's usually better. Which, or like generally speaking, it is. But yeah. And then like once again in Europe, like both growing up and still, when I like hear kids talking about what they play games or whatever, it falls into one of two categories. It's either I play on PC, or I only play FIFA. I bought a PlayStation to be a FIFA machine, and that's it.
How many of them are FIFA machines?
And like those are your two types. Either they play video games or they play FIFA. If they play FIFA, they will probably buy a console, but otherwise they will be on PC.
And let's be honest here, a lot of the CSGO players on Steam are the FIFA types. They just happen to get on PC.
Maybe. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I believe we're probably ready to move on to another topic, please.
Yes. I found the win quote thread.
What is it?
The favorite win quote thread.
Shoot me a link. I want to read it myself.
All right. I mean, the example given is Sogetsu Kazama, I think his name is, in Sam Show 6, this is. And his quote is, useless, like fighting a turd. Oh, I messed up the Terry quote. It's go home and be a family man.
Well, of course, that Dan quote that people bring up as a classic. I hate the art of fighting, but I want to be the king of fighters.
Yeah.
Defeating you takes less effort than smacking a baby. Not that I'd ever do that.
Classic Akuma. Die like your father, you pinheaded son of an ice cream maker. The best ring quote by the best man. I don't.
Well, of course, there's a million good ones for everyone going against Elfelt and Igzard because they're all like, why? What?
Yeah. I don't know who this is a quote from, but this is great. Talk about a bad neighborhood. The cats are so tough, they wear brass paws. Thank you. KOF is great.
What about KOF 13? Everyone's win quotes against Mai Shiranui is telling her to put on clothes.
Yeah, go ahead.
The classic "I need a better workout than this, where's Eliza" quote from Ken. That one is such a confounding one because I'm not sure what the intention there was. Everybody takes it like everybody takes it as the joke, oh, Ken beats Eliza. Or alternatively takes it as like, oh, Ken's idea of a workout is just aggressive sex, I guess. Well, like, what was the writer thinking when they wrote that?
I mean, in my mind, I figured that it meant that Eliza is an actual like sparring partner, and she puts up like I figured it was a thing of like he's been training Eliza on the side, and she puts up more fighters or more problems as an amateur than whoever can's fighting.
Well, if that was the case, why haven't they made Eliza playable yet?
Because they're cowards.
And she gets her and Ken's son as a striker.
Yeah. No. In her first appearance,
Ken's son could probably
Oh no, he cut out. Davio?
Hello?
Yeah. Ken's son. That's where we left.
I said Ken's son could probably still beat Sean.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, they introduced Eliza in one game. Ken's son shows up like Dongwon and Jaehoon did for Kim in like 2002, I forget. And then the game after that, he becomes a striker. But yeah, I also like this line from Susanoo from Blaze Blue, which isn't funny, but it's actually an alright line. Where he goes, heroes are only recognized once they die, and today I will turn you into a real hero. Rejoice, Jin Kisaragi. And that is more recognition than Jin Kisaragi deserves.
I would think. Oh, it's Susanoo that says that,
yeah,
right?
Susanoo.
For a second, I had Susanoo confused with Hakumen.
They are the same body, so it makes sense.
I was thinking Hakumen was about to say, like, time to abort myself!
Yeah.
50th trimester abortion. 50th trimester auto-abortion. What?
Sure, why not? Apparently, Luke has a good, nice win quote against Vega. I don't know if it's 5 or 6. He just goes kind of.
Well, Vega's not in 6.
Okay, then yeah, 5. Kinda cringe to go on about beauty during a fight, dude.
Huh?
That is very not Pog of you, Vega.
What's the weird thing about Street Fighter 6 going with, oh yeah, Luke's your mentor and presumably quite a bit older than he was in 5? Because that means Luke instantly goes from the Generation Z youngin in Street Fighter 5 to a relatively older man in 6.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, those are awesome.
Fucking, this one's great. So, Let's Blade 2 is a like a historical fighter, I suppose, in like feudal Japan. Main protagonist is Kaede. One of his win quotes is, "Alright, that's enough. If we go on your hamburger."
Oh, if we go on your hamburger. Okay, I didn't hear the comma there. If we go on your hamburger.
If you go on your hamburger, we will fucking just step on your hamburger that exists in feudal Japan. Yeah.
I was thinking of the hamburger car from SpongeBob.
Oh, here's
They
the
had
Akuma
those in
quote.
Japan?
Here's the Akuma quote I was looking for. Your body assumed its true form when I tore it apart with my fists. That's a very good Akuma win quote, you know?
Well, that makes him sound like he's Mr. Zaz or something, like he's psychotic.
I mean, that was kind of his character in Alpha. Like, Akuma was supposed to be like a psychotic evil guy, and then they just kind of went, okay, actually, let's turn this down a bit. Like, his entire story is just him going, I want to die. And then his fucking arcade ending is him looking up at the moon and going, I faced strong people today. Maybe one of them will actually kill me. And then it cuts off. So, you know, I feel like he was supposed to be at least a bit psychotic in Alpha.
The funny thing is, like, if you look at NetherRealm games, you can't go with win quotes. It's got to be entrance quotes.
Yeah. Oh, this is also good from Hanzo, from Sam Show 5. Your soul and body part easily. That's also pretty good.
I always remember Melina flirting with Kung Jin, and Kung Jin just goes, barking up the wrong tree, lady.
Yeah. I don't know who this is a win quote for, but it's pretty nice. Hallelujah, brother! You've just met your maker. I don't know who that could be. I hope it's like Yuri Zakazaki.
That sounds like a weird KOF win quote. Kim Kafwan's win quote or something.
Nah, there's not enough justice. There's not enough calling upon justice for it to be a King Kafwan quote. Or Taekwondo, I suppose. It's either justice or Taekwondo.
Or, man, my mentor is short and his wife is hot.
Yeah.
Is SNK just planning on having a all Taekwondo roster someday?
I mean, at this point, like, it would be funny.
That could Kim, his mentor, his mentor's wife, his kids, his rivals.
All 30 of his rivals.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be funny if they...
Iori is also there, but he's like wearing a black wig and a gi.
No, he's not wearing a gi. I forget what the Taekwondo outfit is called. But yeah, he's wearing that. But it's ill-fitting. He like stole it off of Jack Chang.
He has it on over his regular clothes.
Yes. And
I don't think throwing pink fireballs fits into Taekwondo, Iori. Shut up!
I don't think dropkicks fit into Taekwondo, Iori.
Yeah. He doesn't change his moveset at all. He's still Iori.
Yeah, he's just Iori. Like...
Okay, we don't use it very much, but Iori sneaking into fighting games he doesn't belong in is a great gag. We need to abuse that more.
Yeah, like it's just a version of us going. This guy could be a guest, like I do with Akuma and Rugal. But the thing, but then like basically it's an easier way to do it because then you just need to go. I don't know why he's here. He just kind of showed up. Like you did no real story relevance or explanation. He's just there.
That MMA game that SNK made, like Iori just jumps in the cage at a certain point.
Yeah, if you get three.
Dana White is on the outside pounding on the cage, trying to tell security to get him, but security's all scared of him.
Yeah. But what if he already starts fucking going into games not owned by SNK? Like, this is one of those things where, like,
if someone has to take Geese's spot in Tekken 8, I think Iori would be great to take Geese's spot.
Yeah. I don't know how they could fit,
like
fit
Iori.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like Iori 100% fits with the Tekken roster, come to think of it.
Yeah, Iori fits pretty good. I mean, although if you're getting someone from KOF, then it's gonna be Yamazaki, because that's who Harada wanted originally.
Yeah, probably.
But like, imagine turning on Mortal Kombat 12, and Iori is on the roster, and he wasn't announced. He's just there. He has like he has like a shitty ninja fucking ninja mask, and like a very DIY looking ninja outfit. He just fights in that. But otherwise, it's his normal clothes. He fights in that. But yeah, like I actually wouldn't genuinely would not be mad if for like KOF 17. I think that would be the next one. I don't fucking remember anymore.
16.
16. Then yeah, KOF 16. If they just don't add Kim at all, like there is no Taekwondo representation on the roster at all, and then like after the game is launched, they announced Taekwondo fighter, and it's Kim and all of the other Taekwondo characters and Iori.
King of Taekwondo.
Yes. Like it's Kim, his family, his enemies, Chang and Choi, and Iori. And like it actually works off of like official Taekwondo sports rules, because it's supposed to be an actual like tournament.
Chang, Choi, and Iori can all break the rules though in different ways.
Yeah.
Because Chang and Choi are stinky criminals.
Yes, but if you play as them and you break too many rules, then you have to face like a boss Kim. Shin Kim.
True Justice Kim.
Yeah. And then True Justice Kim is just regular Kim, but he reads all of your inputs very blatantly. Well, that and his meter recharges passively.
You know.
Yeah, so he can do fucking Phoenix strikes or whatever it's called constantly. In case you wanted to move.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phoenix Flattener.
Yeah, Phoenix Flattener. But yeah, I'm trying to look and see if there's any other news or topics that would be funny to discuss. I mean, I suppose for an aside, there's this picture posted under the title of "What's your favorite version of Ryu?"
See.
Featuring Finger Ryu, Blonde Hat Ryu, Sword Ryu, Core Values Ryu, Yuri Sakazaki Ryu. So, yeah.
Hang on. Core Values Ryu, is that like she represents core Japanese values?
No, that represents core Dead or Alive values, I believe.
But that's a Sam Show character, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
I mean, core values became a meme because of Dead or Alive, so I've got to assume they're talking about Dead or Alive values.
What's the meme in reference to?
When Dead or Alive 6 came out, they made all of the default outfits for the women be less sexed up, and people didn't like this. And the director of the game came out and was like, the old designs for these characters no longer represented our core values. We wanted to really represent our core values with the way we present our characters, so we decided to make them more like restricted, or not that's not the right word, but like more less showing, pretty much. And
so
then
the opposite of boner culture. Core
Yeah.
values is a phrase used by Coomers to defend their porn fighter characters.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, fuck those people then.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah. So who is your favorite Ryu?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think
my favorite Ryu is Kushnud Butt in Garo. He's my favorite Ryu.
Does he count as a Ryu? Because he's not a main character or a Shodo. He's a Shodo, never mind. But he's not the main character.
Shodo.
Yeah.
Terry, I don't think is a Shodo.
I'd say Terry counts as a Shodo. Like Terry has a wider moveset, yeah, but I'd say he counts as a Shodo because he has all of the typical stuff. He's just not Ryu.
Well,
you know.
Well, if you want to get into the any character that has a projectile, an anti-air, and a move that moves them forward is a Shoto, then we're running into a whole nother thing, right?
Yeah.
Because if you look at, let's say, Mortal Kombat, I'd say it's fair to say that Liu Kang or Johnny Cage are Shotos. They both got a lot of the Shoto touches. But do we want to run down the avenue of, let's say, Melina has the Psy throw. She's got the Melina ball. I'm sure she's had an anti-air in one of the games. Is Melina a Shoto?
I mean, I don't know, because to me, obviously Shoto, I don't think either of us use the general definition of Shoto, because I don't think there is a general definition of Shoto. But to me, it's not just the function of the moves, but also the input. So
yeah, but
yeah,
Terry's when I think of Terry's anti-air, I guess there's the power dunk, but I think power dunk's weird enough on its own to not be a Shoryu. But when I think of the most distinctive anti-air move for Terry, it's the rising tackle, which is a charge move, not a Shoryu.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to keep.
Go ahead.
Kotal Khan is a Shoto. He has the little charging shoulder tackle. He's got a projectile. I forget what the projectile is, but he has a projectile in X. And
he can throw the sword rather. But I think that might be.
He can throw the sword when he's in the sword variation, and if he's not in the sword variation, he can throw a sun disc.
I don't remember that, but I'll trust you because you played more Kotal Khan than I did.
Kano in Mortal Kombat X is a Shoto. He can throw a knife. And he's got forward ball and up ball.
I guess.
Blanca in Street Fighter 6 is a Shoto. He's got now he's got Blanca Chans, they're projectiles.
I don't know. Can he throw Blanca Chan through the air?
Yes, in several ways.
Okay, then maybe. Because if it was just mini Faust, then no. Because I don't know if I'd count ground traversing projectiles as, this is the same as a Hadouken. they target different spots.
I wouldn't consider Soul a Shoto by my own personal means, but I would consider him a Terry ripoff.
But once again, that's a thing of I'd consider Terry a Shoto because he fits the same general role. He has a lot of similar moves, but he's also very much expanded upon the basic definition.
Yes. KOF is definitely one that would get really screwy just because KOF there are way more moves than there are in most other fighting games.
Yeah. I believe this is all of the specific. Oh, but okay. I guess one less news that neither of us really can say a lot about, but the Guilty Gear Xrd rollback beta is ongoing, I believe, right now.
Oh yeah, that. Ow.
Yeah, people have already been posting. I've seen videos of people going man. Oh, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Giuna. who posted it on Twitter, who being like, "All right, I'm gonna play Guilty Gear now," and then got to being fucking perfected by Slayer, and then go shit.
Yeah, there's going to be. There was already a little bit of weirdness for people who went back to X2 after Strive, and just being like, what the fuck? But there's going to be a lot more going back to try Ixard now, because X2, correct me if I'm wrong, got its rollback before Strive. Yeah?
Yes, I believe so.
After that. And those people that see what Ramlethal used to look like, what Jacko used to look like, what Elfelt was there, all these characters, they're just going to go, oh, what the fuck? Because characters in Strive generally are not nearly as filthy as characters in Ixard. Like, off the top of my head, Leo's still fairly filthy in Strive with his side switching. It's not as brutal as his side switching was in Ixard, where you couldn't even fucking see him. But his side switching is still pretty brutal. And Anji can be pretty brutal in Strive as well. But my god, some of the shit that would go on in Ixard,
Yeah, although some characters became less dirty like that, because like Alpha Blade is worse to handle.
Soul is less dirty in Ixard just because everyone else got slowed down while he didn't.
Yeah. And then Chip's Alpha Blade was a lot more easily reactable in Ixard than it was in Strive, because it didn't fucking disappear. Like
yeah,
or like technically he did disappear, but there's a difference there of the game or the move wasn't delayed. It wasn't a buffered move, whereas in Strive it's by design for some reason a buffered move. It doesn't actually hit when you hit. It hits after you hit. Why?
Yeah. To counteract him losing teleport, I guess.
I guess. But yeah, like
I mean, they had to do something just because like Strive is what if Guilty Gear was all footsies, and then Chip goes, "Oh no, motherfucker!"
Chip goes shrieking and goes, and then he becomes the biggest zoner.
Well, I imagine there's a lot of people that open up Ixard and are like, "All right, let's get in there with pot." Oh no.
Time to Mega Fist people, and then they get Mega Fisted themselves. Just not by pot.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was gonna try and wrap things up.
All right. But yeah, like I've already seen people being like, I played Biken in Guilty Gear Strive. I went back to Exort. What the fuck happened to Biken in Strive? And that was funny to see.
What the fuck happened to everyone except Soul and Potemkin?
Yeah. Well, what happened to everyone except Soul, Potemkin, Anji, or Bridget?
Faust didn't get butchered that much, did he?
Stir is weird. It's not as good as Going My Way. And then
that's true. That is true.
And that's about it, really. His teleport game isn't as good, but it's still there. It still exists. So whatever.
You do warning at least with teleports with Faust's teleport and Strive, so that is a big difference. Whereas Ixard and X2, it is 100% Faust just went under the blanket. I am fucked.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right.
So, as for what we played this week, or these weeks, do you want to go ahead, or should I?
Well, we recorded Strive, and I thoroughly did not enjoy any part of it where I wasn't playing Potemkin, but we've already talked more than enough about Strive down the years.
Yeah, I went into this beta with an open mind, as I always do, even when I generally don't like games going into them. I try to keep an open mind, because what reason would I have to go and spend hours on a game when I'm going, I hate this? just immediately, you know. And they did some things nice. Like Bridget was the highlight for me. Like I don't think you even played Bridget. You only played against Bridget.
Nope. No, I feel like I should have tried Happy Chaos, but other than that, no, I didn't really bother with any of the characters.
Yeah.
Except Nago and Pot.
Yeah, I went through and played a couple of rounds with the DLC characters, tried out survival mode and all that, and then took Anji online and got my shit pushed in. Well, okay, actually not really. I went 0. Like I either had a KD of 0 or 1, I don't know. But it was a 50-50 split. So whatever. Either way, Bridget was fun. The way they took her XX version and put her into Strive was good. Like it's the best I've seen them handle any character conversion between the two types of games. It wasn't perfect. Like Bridget still lost a lot of her tools, but at the same time, she still felt like Bridget, which is not something I can say. For example, Baiken.
Yeah.
So, you know. Similarly, Testament. Testament plays very differently, at least in my opinion. But then also, like, I saw Testament as a trap slash Geese Perry character. Like, Testament was all about mind games and trying to do setups and stuff like that. They were a stat play character.
Yeah.
And in Strive,
yes,
in Strive, they're kind of just other rushdown character. Like, you just have slightly more range than usual, but otherwise it's just okay. So now I hit you with the blood. Now I teleport, and then you die. Cool. Which once again, like, it's not the most faithful recreation of the character from XX, but it's still better than most of the cast. Which is a shame that I have to say that, but you know.
Yeah.
Happy Chaos was weird. Like it's like they looked at Alfeld and tried to make Alfeld make more sense. They took the one part of Alfeld that everyone abused, which is the sniper shot with the aiming, and took out the other two guns. And it's just that one that you have access to. You can aim your shot, you can shoot it. If you press meter or if you use meter, you can have a knock up of the shot if memory serves and stuff like that. Happy Chaos also has a KOF dodge for some reason, if memory serves. So you know, Happy Chaos seemed like a very Happy Chaos seemed like as much of a set character as you will get with this game, where instead of putting down traps and stuff like that to later have the enemy fall into them, you do a lot of zoning, and then you bait them out with bombs and stuff like that, and then you shoot their legs until they jump into whatever you want them to do. But aside from that, like I couldn't play Happy Chaos to any extent because that shit is above my pay grade. I cannot wrap my head around it. Like I can look at the tools and go, okay, this is what the tools are meant for, and that's pretty much where I can go with all of this sort of gameplay. So. Then who else? Jekko. I played Jekko for the first time on the recording. Jekko is weird. They tried to adapt her like tower defense minigame somewhat, but not really. Aside from that, she's kind of mostly the same. It's really just a thing of like, instead of most of Jekko's tools being on dust, they're now on heavy. All right, cool.
Because Throw is now on dust.
Yeah. And aside from that, I felt like the game was faster than what I remembered the closed beta and an open beta being. So that was nice. It wasn't fast enough for my taste, but still, it was faster. Air dashes still felt non-existent, even though I kept doing them. Like it's a thing of like I would. Like there's three types of games. You know, games where you don't have air dashes, games where you do have air dashes, and games where air dashes don't matter. So And I feel like this was a game where the air dashes don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Because, like in uni, for example, in uni, I need to know when I'm doing an air dash because the air dashes have a specific arc to them. In something like Exort or XX, air dashes will just generally be used for movement because that's what they're made for. In Strive, air dashes are used because running is not an option, usually. Bless you. And that's it. Like, the air dashes, they cover the spot of running for the characters who can't run. And sometimes pressure. Like, so sometimes you can do instant air dashes for pressure stuff and things like that, but like that's at a higher level than what we reached with Strive. So
Yeah.
whatever. Overall, I liked Bridget. I don't like Guilty Gear Strive. I like Bridget, as it turns out. And that's pretty much what I took away from the crossplay beta. I like Bridget.
And not for the reasons that everyone else likes Bridget.
Yeah. I guess I should revert it to I like playing Bridget. Bridget plays very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did I play anything else? I did. So, did you play anything else, fighting games wise, or should I just continue?
While we were recording this, actually, I hopped into Power Rangers for just a minute, and I found a combo with the armored version of what's her name, Trini.
That doesn't help me.
But
Which Ranger? What color?
The yellow Ranger wearing the big gray
Ah,
dinosaur
yeah.
armor.
Yeah.
Found a combo with her, so that was cool.
Nice. Oh, is that it? I
That's
guess.
it.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah. I also played Battle for the Grid. That game still feels fucking horrible to me. I can't tell you why, but it just does.
It's very stiff.
That may be it.
Also, characters seem kind of stubby, neutral wise.
Yeah, the characters feel kind of stubby neutral wise, and they feel like they don't have a lot of things to do. Everyone's just generally do combo, and like you're supposed to figure out how to do combo, but like how do I convert into combo? I mean, with what? Like it's a weirdly enough, going from Guilty Gear Strive, where you can't do anything. It feels like the problem, or one of the problems with Battle for the Grid for me, seems to be that you can do many things, but not everything. So it's like you can do too many things or you can convert from too many things into too many things. At the same time, some of the things that I try are not allowed. So at that point it's like, why not?
If someone found a dirty combo with it online, probably.
Probably. But it's a thing of like if you let a guy like do fucking dust combos on me in this game that has no dust button somehow, then why can't I cancel my normal into this specific special? Why not? Fuck me, I guess. Like, you know. It also probably doesn't help that or at least going by the base roster, which is all we have access to. There is not really many characters that I actually like playing in the base roster, so it's also a thing of like with Killer Instinct, where like I don't like the aesthetics, I don't like any of these characters, I don't like playing as any of these characters, and you expect me to choose 3.
Yeah, the team game thing feels a bit awkward, but I've always felt the team games were a bit awkward for me.
Yeah, me too. So after a long bit of searching, I've played the White Mage Ranger, Pepsi Man, and the Red Ranger, because the Red Ranger is fucking broken. He has a cross up on D, just D. Like it actually is forward D, I think, but still. So yeah, that's yeah. I don't really even really know what to say about it, because it's it's one of those things where like I played the game like a more newtsy or more footsies based, and it doesn't feel great because as you said, they're stumpy. And then anything happens that leads to combo, I'm just like, all of this is dirty. I feel dirty. I need to take a shower.
Meh.
To
be fair, some degree of filth is just Marvel.
Yeah, that's true. This is our return to my forever complaint with the Marvel series. But the fact that the one burst in the game is off of block fucking annoys me. Cause
they're more worried about block pressure than they are about combo.
Yeah. And the Megazord mechanic doesn't make sense to me. Like I get it, but I also don't. Like functionally, I know it's a combat mechanic of you can summon the Megazord and do a big combo, but the timing at which the Megazords attack and what attack they do seems fucking random. I don't know how I'm supposed to play around that. Not to mention that the way to call in the Megazord, I had to go into the tutorial to tell me how to summon the Megazord. And apparently you just had to press the button to summon both of your allies at the same time, which definitely hasn't led to me summoning summoning all of my characters at the same time and dying, because for whatever reason it didn't read that I wanted to summon the Megazord, you know. But yeah, like this is another one of those games, and we've said this multiple times, I believe, on this podcast. But like, Battle for the Grid is just not for me. Like,
yeah,
I'll play it when we record it, so we can record it. I might have some fun just yelling Pepsi Man, but like past that, I don't really want to do a whole lot with this game because it's not my speed.
Now I forget, is Pink gonna be joining us for Power Rangers, or is it just you and me?
Supposedly he'll join us for Power Rangers.
All right.
But yeah. And then I also played Fantasy Strike. There's a guy who is just fucking Slayer. He is just 1-to-1 Slayer.
Oh boy, I haven't played in a while. I don't remember who that is.
Guy who is, I believe, on the bottom right corner of the character select.
Like I haven't played in a while. I don't remember who that is.
Like the guy's neutral special is a pal bunker. Well, one of it. If you press the neutral special once, he does the wind up, and if you press it again, he does the pile bunker.
Investigation will be.
Yeah. He can't teleport though, so he's not as scary. But yeah, like he has that. He also has like I feel like it's either down special or down attack. I don't remember which one, but one of those is just his rising knee, Slayer's Night Rising Knee. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I found a guy who can just teleport. Why not?
Yeah.
Like he in this game with 7 moves in a character's moveset, one of his moves is completely useless, and I have no idea why you would ever use it, but
What is it?
His jumping special, I believe, is a kick where he starts like gliding, and if he hits the person he's fighting, then he does a bit small hop off of them and then continues gliding. And I have yet to figure out like any way to utilize it in a way that just wouldn't get you tired.
Yeah.
And otherwise, there's just weird parts to the guy's kit that I don't get. Like he has a like a kick attack where if he hits, or even if he gets blocked, then he summons a clone that's a dive kick, but I have yet to see the clone actually hit someone, because he does a dive kick like behind the person.
Yeah.
So that was weird. I also found it weird how they have four zoners, 4 wildcard characters, 2 rushdown, 2 grappler. That's it. That's all you get. And like, this game was aimed at casuals. Why are the zoners one of the larger like teams in the game?
Because zoners, generally speaking, are the ones that casuals are going to play. Your average casual is going to look at a fighting game and go, "Why would I play Kung Fu Man when I can play Man with Gun?"
I mean, that's true, but zoners are also the character archetype that casuals complain about the most.
To be fair, zoners are only really bad in NetherRealm games.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I think a casual can play against Dalsim in Street Fighter and say, Dalsim's fair, you just got to get around the way he punches you. It's fucking Deadshot and Deathstroke that is like, oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Phantasy Strike, once again, not my game. I can't. Why is there a jump button?
Yeah.
And that to me just feels like a complete waste of a face button. I would genuinely prefer if there was no fucking like no action assigned to X, because it would be less weird.
That is the opposite of what I would expect to hear you say.
I mean, like, would I want them to have more functions on it that actually like do shit in the game? Sure, but that's not what they're going for. I would prefer if the X button just didn't do shit, and then the jump was on up like any other fighting game. Because if this is a traditional fighting game, a transitional fighting game between traditional and Smash or whatever, people need to know that you can jump it up on the D-pad. Like, people can't go into KOF after playing Fantasy Strike and getting good at Fantasy Strike. They can go into KOF or Street Fighter or whatever and press X and be like, why am I doing a small kick?
I don't think they'll just. I don't take the position of I think people are smarter than that. But I don't think people will just scratch their heads and go, oh, uninstall a game when they see a light kick come out.
But like, like my point here is that it like gives bad habits. Like, I'm raising the same issue that people are raising against playing as the AI. And the thing is, like, sure, I play against the AI. I don't disagree that it makes bad habits. It's just easier to like, it's easier to get past gameplay based bad habits, in my opinion, than mechanical ones like this, because it's different. It's a different thing to be like, okay, so my muscle memory tells me that I need to do a sweep here, and it always gets blocked. I can work against my muscle memory to not do a sweep there. Versus my muscle memory tells me that I need to press X because I want to do a jump in, and it's not. X is not the jumping button. It feels unnatural to do it the traditional way. Like, it's the same thing with like doing down for a Shoryu. Like, sure, it's not a fucking like it's not anything like a big. It's not a big sin that the game does this, but it will feel either the traditional way will feel unnatural to the people who get used to it with the Fantasy Strike way, or the Fantasy Strike way will feel unnatural to the people who are used to the traditional way, which is what I'm experiencing.
Well, I think that a big part of Fantasy Strike was, what if we did address the complaints that a lot of people have about fighting games? And one of the big ones is up to jump. Which sounds bizarre to you and me because we're both very used to it, but you can see anyone, like you, me, and probably not Mike, are probably the only three that are like, oh, up to jump is fine because all three of us are used to it. But Pink or Soon will complain about it because both of them jump like fucking madmen unintentionally.
Because they're Wildmen using the stick.
Yeah, but you try and fucking convince them to do that. Like, I think that's kind of one of those situations where the answer you'll get is not, oh, I should switch using the D-pad. I think the answer you'll get is, it's fucking stupid that I can't use the stick.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, though, nothing is telling. No one is telling them to not use the stick. It's just easier to do crisp inputs on D-pad. They could just get crisp inputs on stick. It's just a lot harder, which is why it's unadvised.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else?
Let's see. I don't think so. So yeah, I believe we can. I believe fighting games were whatever. Yeah.
Fighting games were.